last success story interview here. So please welcome up Alice Fung to the hot seat. All right.
It's hot.
It's been warmed up for you. It's not too
actually.
bad. It's not going to be too bad. So Alice, we often joke about some of your success stories and the things that have gone on for you, and we're approaching winter time right now. So at least here in Australia. So that time of year, I know some of the things used to go wrong for you at this time of year. But tell us, how were you introduced to what we do in the Savvy team?
I was actually introduced by my partner, Alan, and at that time I was really sceptical. So I used to pinch some of the personal care products that he would use because, Corey, I thought at the time that I was healthy. Hey, I was using natural products, organic products, and yet every winter I still got very, very sick.
Right.
So it was bronchitis for about 6 weeks, and 2 of those weeks I'd have to stay in bed. So my bronchitis was so bad that, a couple of times the doctors were really worried that it would go to pleurisy. So, for the rest of the time, so for the 4 weeks I'd have to drag myself to work. And, I'd be coughing and sputtering and lots of things. And in fact, I didn't get some very nice nicknames from people at work.
Are you going to share?
I guess I will. I was called a mucus-making machine. And,
I'm sure plenty of people can actually appreciate that at winter time. But, all right, so mucus-making machine, bronchial problems for how long? Pretty much all your life, but every winter. But every winter.
Every winter. Mm.
Yeah.
And yet, at the time, I was also taking nutritionals.
Right. So what sort of nutritionals?
I was taking vitamin C. I used to go to the health shop. I'd get vitamin C. I'd get horseradish and garlic tablets. I'd get.
Were you taking nutrition generally, or just when you would get sick? Okay.
Just before winter,
All right. So you'd start to try to prevent and get some of the things like vitamin C, horseradish, all of the standard, basic immune boosters, I guess. And they didn't really do anything?
Not really.
Right.
Oh, and the other thing too was, of course, the flu shot was offered free at work.
All right, yeah.
So everybody would line up for the flu shot. And of course, because I had bronchitis, I had to line up.
You had to line up.
So, and interestingly, I was just thinking there was one person who would walk past this queue of workers and say, I wouldn't do it, it's toxic. And a few of us used to point at her and say, oh, she's odd, And I now realise that, hey, she was the wise one. She knew a lot more than what we knew at the time.
Okay, so there's all these things going on. You were introduced through your partner and you started pinching things from him. What were you pinching?
I was pinching shampoo and what else? The body wash as well.
So trying some of the external personal care. And what happened for you when you started changing to those? Were they helpful?
They were. And it was only when I, changed over the total personal care products, because I used to get dry skin. I've got my trousers on today, so I can't show you my lovely legs, which don't have scales anymore. But yeah, really scaly, dry legs. Just dry skin. And
so generally, you had dry skin. Did it change straight away, or how long did it take for changes to happen for you?
It didn't happen straight away because I didn't I gradually.
So you gradually started pinching stuff.
So I started pinching.
But it was, in other words, it sounds like when you actually made a proper change.
When I made a proper change.
Okay, what triggered that? Was there anything in particular that made you decide, all right, I'm going to give it a go?
Well, I saw the results that was happening, with Alan, but also myself as well, because my hair used to be really, really dry.
Okay.
Really, really frizzy. So that was one of the changes. The other thing was, and it, with the going back to the bronchitis, it probably took a little while because I couldn't tell until the next winter, of course.
Of course, yeah.
So, but my health was certainly improving. Energy-wise, I used to, at 7:30, start nodding off. So
7:30 at night time, you'd be nodding off. You'd get bronchitis every winter. You'd have dry skin and dry hair. But you were healthy.
I was healthy, yes.
So what was it when you started to learn? Because of your stories, you started to pinch products, you started to get results, you started to use more products, and then eventually you ended up coming to things and starting to learn about some of the principles that we're always talking about. Was there anything that sort of sort of hit home for you in your personal story when you started to look at what we generally teach about chemicals and nutrition and detox pathways, those sorts of things? Anything in particular you think
I learned
was
a
important?
lot, yeah, actually, coming into the Savvy team because, just those basic principles of decreasing the toxins and
Yep.
increasing nutrition. So it was only when I started to take the nutrition on a
Yep.
daily basis,
Right. Regular,
okay,
consistent, yeah.
consistent, that I noticed changes.
Yep.
So,
Okay.
and I still do today. When I first started, I was on an immune health, Chinese herbal.
Yeah.
And, I needed that at the time.
Yeah, you started taking that specifically for bronchial.
Yep.
Did you take it regularly, or was it only at winter time that you would take it?
So it was only at winter time that I took it, but I did take it more then when I first started than I do. In fact, I hardly use it now because I don't get the bronchitis anymore.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So we're talking here. You thought you were healthy. You were a mucus-making machine, bronchitis all of the time, dry skin, all of that. Tell us about the Alice now.
The Alice now is full of energy. 11 o'clock, I'd be going to bed instead of
7:30 nodding off.
Well, 7:30 nodding off, and then I'd be in bed by 9 o'clock. Yep. So now it's 11 o'clock. So loads of energy throughout the day, right? Throughout the day. Better sleep. It's skin that doesn't require that daily moisturization.
So that's something that you had to do before. So let's look at it from the external stuff. So you cleaned out your bathroom, detoxified your bathroom, as we might say, changed brands, used the things that we recommend and the brands that we work with. You noticed legs not dry, hair not dry, skin not dry, and that was even moisturizing less, are you telling us?
Yes.
So you could moisturize less and yet get better results. So do you think that was the chemicals drying your skin in the products that you were using? You think so?
Yes, I now know because of all the knowledge that, all the information that we gained through the Savvy team.
Yep.
But, at the time also, I was just listening to Anne before about, lips being dry. And I was one of those who used petroleum jelly, every day. So, then I realised, hey, those ingredients aren't good.
Well, it's a worry, isn't it? So olive oil comes from olives. Petroleum jelly comes from petroleum. But where does baby oil come from? Petroleum. It just sounds a lot better than petroleum oil. Anyway, so we got you off the petroleum jelly onto something a little bit better, and that's working. And tell us more about the bronchitis then, because we're talking here about getting sick every winter. And people start to believe that that's just the normal. You just get sick every winter, can't breathe, mucus. It's normal to get colds and flu. What changed for you? Like, we know what you did. You did some of the different nutritional stuff, nutrition every day. You knew what to reach for if you did get a bit sick before it could take hold of you. So you took the immune boosters and everything before it really got a hold of you. But what are we talking about? So 6 weeks of bronchitis, and now what's happening for you? How long has it been since you've had that?
It's interesting you asked that because I was talking to a Facebook friend the other day, and he said, I never see you with a tissue. Around the nose.
They used to remember you with a tissue.
That's right.
It's Alice with the tissue,
and
now he commented on that.
Yes.
Wow, all right.
And this was
fantastic.
a fellow that I used to catch the bus with, to work in the city. And it just... I just found it
and that's
really
been years?
interesting. That's been years. That's been years.
And so you put it down to basically giving you what your body needed, the general nutrition, knowing what to do if you did get sick so that you didn't have to go for antibiotics and all of that sort of thing. You still getting the flu shot? No?
No.
So you do this all without getting any vaccinations or anything as far as flu goes. You choose not to do that. All right? So pretty good then.
It's very, very good.
Anything else
Excellent.
you'd like to share with us then about experiences you've had or health challenges that have disappeared or just anything that
Look, there's
that's
so
present
many
for
other
you?
things, Corey. And sometimes you forget all the little things, such as one day when I was cleaning out the shoe cupboard, I found a little container of tinea powder.
Okay.
So that was another one that I'd forgotten about that had
Right.
improved. So there are all these, different things that improve that you forget about. So we always, look at, writing out the list and ticking it off. The other, just what else? I mean, look, my health, when I look at how my health used to be, when I was in my 20s, I was reading a diary that I kept. And the sickies, not sickies as such, but sick days that I was taking off at that time, I counted them and I thought, my goodness, I was sick at that time.
Yeah.
Whereas nowadays, I just.
So now you can have a day off without chucking a sickie. Is that
No,
what you're
that's
saying?
right.
All right, very good. So what do you think then that people, based on your experience, what do you think that generally people don't understand? Because I know that there are a few things you were using things from memory. You were really trying to be good using hypoallergenic skincare and things like that. So you were doing a little bit to improve your dry skin and all that sort of thing. You weren't really taking any nutrition, but like from your lessons about being somebody, not used to taking nutrition, not used to really looking at the products externally, what advice have you got for people then that most people may not get, that you really understood? Because you said you were resistant.
Yes.
You said that you had to start nicking products to begin with. What messages have you got for people who are maybe in similar shoes to you?
Okay, it's basically, I thought, because I was reading labels, that I knew what I was reading.
Ooh,
and truly,
all right.
What I'm using now
Yep.
has basically been scrutinized by toxicologists,
Yep.
by leading toxicologists who have made it their lifetime study.
Yes.
So what would I know in picking up a bottle and reading the label? What would I know?
Yeah.
Really?
So you trust the marketing then, where it just says no SLS, no propylene glycol, no phthalates. Well, great. What about the other 800 known endocrine disrupting chemicals and carcinogens and things that even cause dry skin?
Yeah.
What about those? So you don't need to be a toxicologist. You need to just change brands, work with the brands that we work with because they've all been checked over. Yep.
Yeah. They're safe, So it's that scientific knowledge that's behind the products that I'm using.
Yep.
That's crucial. And that goes for the nutrition as well because, I was taking supplements.
Yep.
Okay, at that time. So it just goes to show that what I was taking was not working.
Yeah, so you would start, just to clarify then, you weren't taking supplements every day, but you'd start taking things come wintertime, wouldn't
That's
you?
right.
And they didn't work for you.
No.
Now, you don't even need to start taking extra things at wintertime because your general health and well-being is lifted to a level that you don't even get sick at winter. Is that correct?
That's correct.
That's it. So it's really taking care of yourself every day so that your immune system can prevent ill health when when the bugs are around you.
Yeah.
All right. So anything else you'd like to share with everybody listening in, about your journey?
I guess it's also looking at, that's one of the key things is realizing that even though, we ate well,
Yep.
okay, and mostly organic as well too,
Mm-hmm.
but it's what's missing from the food. So that topping up is crucial.
So that's supplementing.
Yep.
Even if you eat good food, you need to supplement because, the information that we share in the wellness, it's not that hard concept, is that it's just not, the nutrition's not in our food. So we need to supplement nowadays. And so that proved true for you.
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
Awesome. So there you go, everybody. Some great health improvements from Alice. So give her a round of applause. Thank you, Alice.